Open disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is YouTube gravy and rice. Welcome to the first financial literacy lesson. We are starting at the bottom floor, not because anyone is stupid, but actually a lot of people are stupid, but not you, because you're watching content that could fix something that you may have an issue with. But because building a strong building needs a strong foundation. A lot of people were never taught money. They were taught how to spend it, chase it, fear it, show it off, survive it, or argue about it. But they were not taught how to understand it. Money is not magic. Money is not your worth. Money is not proof that you are better than someone else. Money is a tool. And like any tool, if no one teaches you how to use it, you can hurt yourself with it. A hammer can build a house, but it can also break a window. Money works the same way. Just like a Glock could get a deer or it could clear out a whole block. This lesson is not about becoming rich tomorrow. This lesson is about learning how to see clearly, because before you can change your money, you have to understand your patterns. Section one, start where you are. A lot of people avoid looking at their money because they already feel bad about it. They do not want to check the bank account, open the bill, look at the credit score, add up the spending, not because they do not care, but because looking at it makes them feel exposed. That is shame. Shame says, I messed up, so I must be bad. But financial literacy says, I may not know everything yet, but I can learn. You cannot fix what you refuse to look at, but looking does not mean judging yourself. Looking means collecting information. You are not on trial. You are taking inventory. For 1 week, write down every dollar you spend. Do not change anything yet. Just watch. And when it comes to the avoidance of bank accounts, I lived that like a long time, especially the clubbing days. Man, get paid on Friday. Of course, I would pay the bills first at least, but get outfits for the club, end up going out the whole weekend, end up doing more than what I plan to do. And then when Monday come, I'm not looking at that bank account like what? Like I don't need those bad vibes in my life, because I was emotionally attached to the fact that I made a mistake that I kept making. So it just further put me into a cycle of get paid, overspend, avoid looking at it, get paid, overspend, avoid looking at it. Section two, what comes in and what goes out. The most basic money lesson is this: money comes in, money goes out. The space between these two things determines your breathing room. Income is what you receive, expenses are what you pay. Some expenses are needs: rent, food, transportation, medicine, utilities. Some expenses are wants: takeout, entertainment, clothes, upgrades, subscriptions, convenience. Some expenses are leaks. Leaks are the small things that quietly drain money. A $7 purchase may not feel dangerous, but $7 every day is about $210 a month. And the dollar sign is before the digits, by the way. That is not to shame anyone. Sometimes people buy small pleasures because life is hard. But the question is, are their purchases helping your life, or are they keeping you stuck? Action step: separating spending into three groups: needs, wants, leaks. Or leaks is a little bit, I mean, if you into using that type of terminology, then fine, but you can also just put miscellaneous or MIS dot or ETC dots, just something, or give your own terminology to it. Matter of fact, when it comes to all of this, you don't have to do it the exact way I'm saying, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Because the reason most things people try to do, like money, fitness, dating, is because the person, I say is because, is due to the fact that the person who is instructing you on what to do, naturally we want to stick to that because we feel safe, because we feel like the person know what they're talking about. But your life is a little bit different than where I'm speaking from. I'm speaking more, I try not to be putting everybody in the same bucket, but everybody's life is case by case basis. You have unique situations that my videos may not touch on, or I may not be considering when I'm giving these things. So include you, you know yourself better than anyone, you know your situation better than anyone. So just customize it. Use things, make it fun. Don't make it like this is like you have to clean out the garage for spring, or you got to go to the attic and crawl around like Beyonce and that lady did on Obsessed, where she pushed her through the roof and she fell. But just make it fun. Anything. Finances, the gym, whatever, make it fun. Cooking at home, any new goals, you have to frame it as something you like to do. Because if you look at everything that you do that you like, look at how easy it is to do it. Like, look how you do it without thinking. Scrolling the phone. You don't think, oh, I need to scroll the phone today. No, you just do it. So, like, you don't have, when you introducing yourself to something, you have to find a way that makes it romantic to you. You have to like it. Like, when you see something as an obligation, your brain does whatever it can to rush it, to get away from it, to make excuses for it. Chapter 3. Motivation versus working through discomfort. Motivation feels good. Motivation is the video that gets you excited, the fresh notebook. Motivation is saying, this time I'm serious, but motivation fades. Discipline is what remains when the excitement leaves. This is where many people get stuck. They think losing motivation means they failed. It does not. Motivation is a very weird thing from experience. It means the emotional high wore off, and now the real work begins. Changing your money habits may feel boring. It may feel annoying. It may feel unfair, even slow. But slow progress is still progress. A person can be motivated to save money on Monday and still want to buy something on unnecessary on Friday. That does not make them fake. That makes them human. The key is not perfection. The key is returning to the plan. Action step: create one simple rule before I buy something I don't need. I wait 24 hours. Also, too, look at it as I'm about to reach with this one. It's the same difference as if somebody told you or you learned that we supposed to crawl instead of walk, as far as crawl on all fours, like how the people who work out be crawling, and that's supposed to save your back. That's supposed to make life easier. If you started crawling today, you're not going to just immediately be crawling throughout the day. You're going to have to switch from walking to crawling. And that's kind of how switching from being financially unaware to learning and to seeing how many habits we have that are reckless and that may be causing some of the things that we going through. And then you may even realize certain mistakes you made. So that's why shame is annoying, because shame is like that person in your ear while you're trying to watch the movie. You seeing the movie for the first time and the person like, what happened? You saw that? Oh, what the? That's what shame is when it comes to goals. So tell them shut up. Like, tell a shame to shut up, because when you're working on yourself, there is no reason to have shame at all. At all. Like, I mean, it's still gonna happen. Me saying it is not like, let there be light and then your shame gone. No, I don't have that kind of power. And the psychology of habits. Every time I compress, let me see if I make it bigger. Is it going? Nope. I promise psychology was not looking like that when I first did this, but it doesn't matter. Habits are built through repetition. The brain learns patterns, and that's how we end up being financially illiterate, because we were taught habits from other people who were financially illiterate or unaware, and then we went through life with these patterns. So when you're trying to change, you have to know that as a human, even me as an alien with a big head, that's why I call myself an alien, we have patterns. So when we trying to make things a part of our life, we have to first observe ourselves to see what our patterns are, see what is connected to each pattern, see if some of it may be rooted in trauma, if some of it may be rooted in us trying to self-medicate. Because a lot of times some people mix up self-medication only with substance abuse, but you can self-medicate with pretty much anything that soothes you in the moment when you feel in discomfort. If every time you feel stress, you spend money, your brain connects stress with spending. If every time you feel bored, you scroll and shop, your brain connects boredom with buying. If every time payday comes, money disappears first, your brain starts treating payday like a celebration instead of a plan. This is not just math. This is conditioning. The free check fallacy too. Thinking that the months, especially if you get paid bi-weekly, that it's a free check and then just spending it the way that I wanted to, and end up a few months later in a hole at some point. And then for me, to make it worse, it wasn't just me spending recklessly. I actually used to overgive to people. Like I probably overgave more money than I actually spent on things, which is so crazy, but it happens. Long-term habits become familiar, and the brain often prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. That is why change can feel uncomfortable even when it is good for you. When you start saving, budgeting, or saying no, it may feel like punishment at first, but it is not punishment. It is retraining. Action step. Pick one spending habit and ask, what usually comes before this purchase? Stress, boredom, loneliness, pressure, celebration, embarrassment. Find the feeling and you find the pattern. Roadblocks are normal. You will mess up. You may overspend. You may miss a goal, forget to track, have an emergency, get frustrated and want to quit. That does not mean the mission is over. A flat tire does not mean you throw away the whole car. Financial growth requires recovery skills. The question is not, will I make mistakes? The question is, when I make a mistake, how quickly can I return to the plan? People quit because they think progress has to be perfect. It does not. Progress is built through correction. Action step. When you mess up, write this sentence. This was information, not the end. Then adjust one thing to whatever your plan was. And also consider, look into the future based off of who you know yourself to be and what your guilty pleasures are. Look at the possible things that could derail your plan too. Because with plans, new plans especially, our optimism levels are through the roof, and we taught to believe things so they could happen. And when it comes to actual being realistic, sometimes that optimism can make us not acknowledge the elephant in the room, the things that we know. Okay, we have friends that are very random and like to go to places that's expensive. So you have to include all of those different things into it. Or you have people that always ask you to borrow money and they watch everything you do. So when you saving money, they're gonna start noticing that you have more money to ask you for more money. So it's so many different things. With this video, I'm not gonna do it as in depth as the other ones because this is I want it to be simple in the beginning, allegedly. Social media and money pressure. Social media can make normal life look like failure. You see vacations, outfits, cars, restaurants, houses, jewelry, soft life posts, luxury apartments, and people pretending every day is a music video. But you do not see them legs to the moon. I'm playing. But you do not see the debt. You do not see the rent being late. You do not see the credit card balance, what was borrowed, rented, sponsored, financed, or fake. Also, too, billions of dollars are lost in scamming each year. So that means that more than likely, a lot of the stuff that we see is not even legitly like they didn't really do it the right way. You might be looking at a scammer who just took a 70-year-old woman's 401k and is on vacay, which is crazy. Comparison makes people spend money to prove they're not behind. That is dangerous. A person can be surviving well, but because they keep looking at fake luxury, they feel poor. Sometimes the phone is not entertainment. Sometimes it is a pressure machine. The only pressure machine I like is my pressure cooker. Word to red beans. Action step: unfollow or mute accounts that make you feel broke, behind, jealous, or pressure to spend. Replace them with money education, cooking, repair, job skills, health, free events, and learning pages. And if it's easier for you, most websites for social media make it easier to make multiple profiles. Just make a profile for when you that's just completely strictly about all of those things like that could better your life, and then have your other profile for play, your play profile. And that way you don't have to worry about the algorithm mixing the two together, because when you try to be a part of two worlds on one account, baby, the algorithm don't know what to do with you. You're gonna have one video with people getting jumped, and the next video with financial literacy quotes, and then the next video with philosophy. Like it's very chaotic. I lived it before, but I deleted social media too. So use online tools instead of doom scrolling. Chapter 7: the same phone that drains your focus can help rebuild your life. Instead of scrolling for 1 hour, use 15 minutes to learn something useful. Free resources includes Your Money, Your Toolkit. See, I came ready today. I already have it pulled up. So to just show the websites in order. Well, that's the FTC version. Free resources includes the CFPBs, which is Consumer Finance, blah, blah, blah. Your Money, Your Goals Toolkit, which is made to help people build financial knowledge and skills. The FDIC also offers Money Smart, a free financial education program for people of different ages and skill levels, and they are certified. So any information I ever give on these videos, you do not have to take it as law. You can question it. You can do whatever you want. But I'm also leading you to the, like, I'm a positive handler. Like I'm handling you to a different way of living. Even though that was a bad analogy, but hey, everything ain't good all of the time. Sometimes you might buy something from the store and it's already bad. I do it all of the time when I'm not paying attention. That's why I pay attention more. Because I remember what. Never mind. This is a wrong video. I can't do that on this one. The FDIC also offers Money Smart, a free financial education program for people of different ages and skill levels. For credit reports, annualcreditreport.com is the official free site for credit reports from Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and the site says free weekly online reports are available. The FTC warns that other sites may claim to offer free credit reports while trying to sell products or charge later, so people should be careful. That's that's like some of the finance channels on here that they give you minimal information and then charge you for the rest of it, even though all of it is free. Like, but I'm when people are money hungry, they don't care where they get the money from, baby. So for me, I don't fault the people who do that. I just don't like the ones that deceive people. I think that is not cool at all. And for me, I've always been anti-manipulator. And if I ever came across them, I would destroy their channel and just destroy everything if you scamming people, because that's not cool. It's too many other ways to get money than scamming. Scamming is the most lazy way. I'd rather you shoplift if you ain't hurting nobody when you're shoplifting than to scam people, because at least the business you shoplifting from, don't do small businesses either. The business you shoplifting from, like a large chain, has insurance. You shouldn't be doing any of this, but people gonna be criminals anyway. So I'm saying choose the lesser of two evils if you're gonna choose evil, because you was gonna do that anyway. Action step: replace 15 minutes of scrolling with one of these. Check bank transactions, watch one money lesson, use a calculator, read one free resource, write down tomorrow's spending plan. And reading is fundamental, but if you may not feel like doing it or have challenges, your phone can read it for you. Or you can, even if you use any of the AI apps, you can have it summarize the website so you can get the key points from it. You don't necessarily have to read 200 pages. I did that for y'all. Like, what is the book at? Random Psychology of Money. Where are you? Like these types of books. But I'm not gonna really be promoting the books because y'all don't need to be buying that. If you want to read finance books, rent it from the library for free. Your local library also has an online feature where if it's a book that they do not have, you can request it and rent it for free. So, like, it definitely does feel good to buy books. I know, but please, like, that's the worst thing that a person could do, is let the initial stage of beginning something new make you buy a bunch of stuff. Because I can definitely show examples of me doing that, but that's not healthy for this type of content. For the FTC website, this is Federal Trade Consumer. No, I'm trying to read two screens at once. Federal Trade Commission Consumer Advice. On the FTC website, you can see about make smart shopping decisions, know your rights, solve problems when you shop or donate, credit, loans, debt. This is a bonus one. Unwanted calls, texts, and emails. Report that ass. Them people blowing your phone up, report them. Report them, and I hope they kick the door in too. Identify identity theft and online security. By the way, I literally just woke up like 40 minutes ago. I did brush my teeth before I came in here though. So that's probably why I'm a little bit combobulated of the dissing. Okay, that's the FTC website. And then next is the annual credit report website. Honestly, if you are like financially struggling, credit is cool to know about how it works. But getting your home and your life stable with an emergency fund, with like kind of not being directly paycheck to paycheck, maybe having a little leg room, that's more important than a credit score. Unless you have something that you're trying to do. But if you do and your credit is that far off, I would recommend, I'm not a specialist, but I would recommend that you kind of put that on hold so you can have stability, because one mistake I made a million times, which I actually be having fun when I make mistakes, because I don't react the way that people do. Like, I don't be down about it. I actually, like, it's fun to me. But the mistake I made was putting the building before the block, like building a house and you don't even have the land to put it on. That's what trying to fix your credit when your money not right is doing. It's still a good thing to do to learn about it, because you can easily do it once you are ready to start. Annualcreditreport.com, the only source for your free credit reports, authorized by federal law. And always check the URL when you go on the websites. And whenever you are getting emails, don't ever click links and emails to stuff that you did not subscribe to or request. And before you click links and emails, always go to the address and click the name on the address and make sure the email is real. That's another bonus. And this is free credit report right here. This one is a little boring because that's all they have to offer. And then next is stop screen and then start it back up. Your money, your goals. And that's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website. You might see this one a lot, because anytime I touch on points about this, I'll either mention it, and if I have time today, like I have time today, then I'll also show it as well. Resources for the people you serve. They have a toolkit, helps you have the money conversation with the people you serve, booklets to talk about money, online resources, companion guides. And then there's another one. And when it comes to utilities, there are a lot of services. Like if you have kids, if you have a disability, if you're a senior, please check into your local area. A lot of cities, unless you live in a rural town, and if you live in a rural town, then look at the nearest major city. But they have a lot of resources for utilities and things, and that can probably help you, especially for people who may be experiencing financial hardship. Like the moment you know you either are about to experience financial hardship or you already started it, I started it. You immediately start looking up resources and applying, because some things may take longer. Some things may help fast, but that is money that can help you stabilize yourself. That way, instead of going broke on utilities because you're in financial hardship, you can have more money to buy food, or, just have a cushion. How money smart are you? They have interactive topics, guide to organizing reality fairs, real reality or reality fair. I was about to say realty, because at first I'm reading that like, what the hell is a reality fair? A reality fair is a simulation of an adult's financial life that provides youth with an interactive experience for making real world financial decisions. Okay, so they didn't teach financial literacy in school to the youngins, but the FDIC does, and it's a government website. Baby, anything that say .gov, I'm gonna show the website love, because at the end of the day, we pay taxes, so I pay for this. So I be running all down and around these websites. I be looking at all of the stuff at the bottom and everything. Like, look, No Fear Act data. Like, what is that? The Notification and Federal Employee Anti-Discrimination and Retaliation Act was signed into law. The intent is to ensure that federal agencies. Oh, that's them people business. That's for people who work for them. They don't have anything to do with us people. That is, but yeah, I go all through their website and then contact us, inquiries and complaints, and but resources as well. We need to be, not need to. You could. This is a website you can explore at your own leisure, so you can do whatever. Deposit insurance, supervisions and examinations, laws and regulations. Yeah, Community Reinvestment Act. It's so many, and then community banking. There's so many different aspects to this. I actually just was reading well, I just started the book, and it mentioned that there actually is an incentive for rich people to reinvest into poor neighborhoods, and they get a huge tax break when they do. But then it ends up backfiring because it was the idea was for it to help the people in the neighborhood, but it ended up turning into gentrification, which that's I don't really feel no way about gentrification because I feel like they have people who are hurt by it, of course. But I noticed that when they said the good suffer for the bad in school, they really like that was probably the biggest lesson they ever provided because the good indeed does suffer for the bad. Okay, that's it for those videos. And now I can go back to the slide. And section 8. Your first money action plan. For the first week, do not try to fix your whole life. You will want to, though. You definitely will. Just do this. Track all spending. Circle the leaks. Wait 24 hours before once. Do one free money lesson. Forgive mistakes quickly. Repeat. This is how the foundation starts. Not with shame, not with panic, not with pretending, with awareness. And also, do not announce that you're starting this. Like when you're starting something new, unless it's a person that shares your goal-driven mindset or likes that type of stuff to see you shine, to see you grow, you can share it with them. But people have a bad habit, especially if your behavior will make you different from the group, they will attack the new behavior. Personal experience. Telling people you're trying to save money, all of a sudden you getting more invites than ever. Telling people that you drinking less, all of a sudden you getting invited to every open bar in the in the stars. They invite you to open bars on Mars too. And then when you tell people that you are starting a fitness journey, everybody and their mama is going to have fried everything. Fried chicken, fried pork chops, fried strawberries, fried anything that could be fried. They'll fry your iPhone if it was edible. So you don't want that pressure. And then also too, it's kind of like when you dating somebody and you think you like them and then you tell your friend about them, but then it end bad and then you don't feel like reliving that again, but then your friend asks about them. Yeah. Closing script. Free resources. They definitely will be in the description. They always are. Financial literacy is not just about numbers. It is about self-respect, patience, telling yourself the truth without destroying yourself for it. You are not behind because you're learning. You're only behind if you refuse to learn. Money is a tool. Habits can change. Mistakes can teach. Roadblocks can be managed. And your future does not have to be controlled by your old patterns. Start small. Track the money. Watch the habits. Learn the tools. And remember, the mission is not perfection. The mission is progress. And also think about this. Recalls, software updates, and I'm again, this is morning brain. So recalls and software updates are the best example. When it comes to recalls, vehicles are supposed to be so perfect. We pay all of this money for vehicles, but then they have to have recalls because of why? They found out that something that they did in the beginning is causing an issue or something is faulty. Or when it comes to software updates, all of these devices we use, they are, amazing, but they need software updates because there are things that are missing from when it was first made. There are changes that when it first was made worked, but now they need to change it to something else. You just doing a software update. You just doing a recall because for you were created in the image of your environment. A lot of our things and traits we didn't pick. If I was born in I'm trying to think of a country I could just throw at. If I was born in Antarctica, I don't know if they have people that live out there, but if I was born in Antarctica, I would be a completely different person. And, so you were born where you are, and that's why you are the way you are. The things, the decisions, it's a whole bunch of different things. It's like cooking. But the video is over now, and I did it under 30 minutes. And there are helpful resources in the description. And good luck on your financial journey. And don't ever stop it because journeys don't end. When life does, that's when it ends.